And I also feel like a lot of people have a difficult time differentiating once again social media and reality, right? So obviously, you know, like a lot of people talk about there's a lot of people talking about more and more, like, you know, like things that we're talking about now, that men, like the issues that we face as well. But I feel like when you take it back into the real world, it's just like the real world is like, it's a little bit more fuckery, if you get what I'm saying. It's like you've got a little bit more sympathy, people raising awareness, like these conversations that we're having. But I also feel like what doesn't help as well, once you get back in the real world, it's like you've got this blunt statement of like, yes, your mental health, try to deal with it, but this is the reality of a real man. This is what you need to do and try to get on with it, if you get what I'm saying. And I feel like that's quite dangerous, if you get where I'm coming from. And it's like
100%.
this is why even I want to say this as well. We have to go back to being able to look at the bigger picture. You know what you said about, obviously, when you're a married man, you're not just a married man. Overall, all of these things that we do, relationships and whatever, overall, we're human beings, right? When you strip everything back, right? So I feel like at the end of the day, like for me anyway, what I try to do in my own personal life, yes, I'm a dad. Yes, I've got all of these things going on in my life as well. But overall, I need to try to take care of my fucking mental health first and foremost. I need to try, obviously some things are easier said than done, right? That's why I'm being very careful what I'm saying. But let's keep it real with you guys. Let's face it, like, even, for example, talking about even like things like politics, yeah, I know it's a bit random, but let's keep it real. Like, for many years, a lot of us, black, white, whatever, where we come from, for many years, we've seen like this repeated cycle of like politicians chatting shit about, I'm gonna do this, and then once they get into office, they literally go back on their words, right? So it's like you need to get to a point in your life where sometimes you take responsibility of your own life, right? Saying, you know what, fuck what politicians, fuck what all of these people are saying. Let me just try to figure this shit out in my own real life, so that even if people are talking about what a man should be, this and that, all of that, it's like, yeah, but no. I'm just getting on with my life, because at the end of the day, like, mentally, if you're fucked, everything else, like everything else get affected, right? So, but overall, in a nutshell, what I'm just trying to say is I feel like we should all like take response, because I'm very blunt. I just feel like, yes, social media, whatever people tell you, like how a man should be, whatever. For me as a man, I just feel like personally, it's your own responsibility first and foremost to try to take care of yourself. Like, look, like, yeah, how can I handle this? How can I handle this? Yes, you know, like people are saying this, like, you know, like people are saying that, but what can I do this to sort my own shit out? Yes, I'm a husband. Yes, I'm a dad, but what can I do? Basically, balance overall. Like, how can I find a balance within my life so that I can do what I love? I can try to be a dad, do this and do that. Yeah, the key word is like, I know I went wrong, but the key word is like, fuck all of the noise. Sometimes it's like, you know, people
just
say like, try to block out all of the noise and just literally try to find a balance to work all of this shit out, because
it's true, because if your mentals ain't straight, everything else is gonna start slowly fading.
Literally, yeah.
You have to like put yourself in a position where you can allow your mental health to thrive and not decrease, because like obviously everyone's had their struggles with mental health.
1,000,000%, yeah.
I feel like if there's things in your life in place that are not helping, as shitty as it can be, you need to remove yourself from that situation. Like even as, like, for example, that we play darts, and sometimes I feel that I don't want to be there, so I just remove myself from the situation. It's as simple as that. Like, it could be in any situation. You could have a best friend that you don't realize it, but subconsciously is negatively impacting your life. And if it's ruining your mental health, like, as close as you are, you need to be like, sorry, brother, get out of my life.
No,
like, we all have to thrive, and if we have to block some things or people out to do it, then so be it. Like, at the end of the day, your life is your life. You're the only one that's going to be in the casket when you die. So
exactly that. That's why exactly that what you said is perfect. That's why, hence why, exactly what I said. Like, no matter what, obviously I'm very careful, because I could talk forever, yeah, but I'm very careful. I'm very careful when I try to say certain things, because sometimes, you know, like, certain things are easier said than done. So that's why I'm very careful to say, look, listen, I know it's not gonna be easy, but if you don't want your mental health to spiral off and to get worse, if you don't want that thing to get worse, you literally need to find a way for yourself. Because all of us, you know, all of us here might have mental health issues in it, but in terms of healing, all of us might have to heal in a different way. You know where I'm coming from? So that's why I always say, like, all of these things, all of this noise on social media with us men or whatever, look, listen, each of us individually, you just need to find a way to go back within yourself to say, listen, like, how can I go back within myself to make all of these things like make sense? Because like as a man, honestly, yeah, I've gone through some shit as a man, and I'm thinking, fucking, I wish I was a fucking woman. Like, the fuck? Or even in general, it's like, is this what
I feel like we wish we were men.
Men, in our head, we feel like men have got it easier in certain aspects.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know, in other
there's
aspects,
pros and
I'm not
cons to
jealous
both.
of.
Absolutely, it's like life. It's like reality, isn't it?
It's
There's pros and
literally just
cons.
reality.
Like, with literally
Yeah.
everything,
You know
innit?
what it is? I feel like more for men, yeah. I sit there and I think, do you know what? I'm happy I'm not a guy. But due to things like the pressure, like I feel like as a man, you are pressured to be doing 100 at all times, and your 100 can't slip. And I think that's mental. Like I think if you want to have an off day, have an off day. But other people frown upon that off day, which is I think it's mental. And like, do you see, like you were saying, what men should be doing? Who made them rules? Like who made the rules that like the you lot should be doing?
Society. That's what happened.
That's why. Sorry to even cut you. That's why even I like for me here consciously, I try to not obviously ask people in the red chair the same questions, right? But sometimes I catch myself repeating myself saying, I feel like certain questions are important to ask. Continue asking different people, right?
It's good to know different people's opinions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So even even exactly what we're talking about, like even before you said what you were gonna say, like let me throw this question in there, like even for you personally, yeah, like what is a real man? Obviously, society said this is what a man should be. This is what a man should be. Exactly like what we're talking about right now. For you personally, like, what is the definition of a real fucking man?
There's not a definition for it.
Talk to them.
There's not a definition. As long as you are you, then you can't be a real man or a real woman. It's just you are you, and if someone doesn't like you for that, then that's their business. Like, for example, if one day, hopefully, I find a husband,
you will do.
Like, yeah, we're telling the world it's gonna happen. Don't worry.
Yeah, I believe in all of that. Yeah, you have to speak things into existence.
I feel like a real man and like a good man are different. Like people say real men, but there's no technicality there's no definition for real man. A good man is just someone who is like, for example,
good intentions.
Yeah, that's the word that I was looking for.
And like tries their best. I feel like
that's all you can
even
do.
If
try your best.
Out of your bed was your best that day. You still tried. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard to say what a real man is like.
You have to
the only
like,
thing I do, I'm not gonna lie, I'm heavy with, is like if you've got children, be a dad.
Yeah,
but also I know in some situations there is bitter women
technicalities,
and they're like, no, you're not doing that. You're not doing that. And as long as you're trying, that's all you can do. I think that's a real man. As long as you're trying.
Yeah. So even a quick one as well on that as well, because obviously all of us come from. Some of us, I know, we come from places where we hear the typical baby mother thing as well. And in terms, if we're talking about men, and I feel like this kind of thing has fucked up a lot of men mentally because they feel like they're not doing enough, or they feel like they're actually not good dads. You get me? But with what you said as well, like there's a lot of bitter. Obviously, there's amazing baby mothers out there. Even women that people are falling out with, but still they're there doing their best for their kids, right? But talking about this thing of like having bitter baby mothers who, for whatever reason, they're getting their feelings.
It's not even that though. It's
they put things into place to stop. You know, like the father seeing the kids, and even though, like we said, all of the pressures of being a man, even though the father cannot provide sometimes, but like he's doing his best. Yeah. But still, like certain women make certain fathers feel like, no, you're still a shit.
Nothing.
You get what I'm saying? That's where
I feel like
lines get blurred.
That's where
where I've got. Sorry, Holly. Where I've got boy mates and female mates, I kind of see it from both sides sometimes.
Yeah, both sides.
And like I see guys that are really not doing the most, and then like there's even been certain family members is someone's put hurdles in front of them to see their children, and I'm like, go to court. If you want to see your child and that's the only way she's letting you, do it. Like that's your child.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I think there's good and bad on both sides, like from the men and the women. But I don't know.
I agree. I feel like it's a lot of it can be based on like understanding as well, like
communication.
Yeah, like before that you have a child or someone, you should fully understand that person, like well as much as they will allow you to understand. Like for example, if I'm with someone and like you said before, like if just getting up that day is a lot for that person, your partner should be able to speak to you and say, hey, this is me trying my best. And your partner, like for example, if my man said that to me, I would be like, okay, like that's good. I'm glad. I'm proud of you for getting out of bed. Like, and I feel like that's where the miscommunication comes with like the bitterness, because people don't understand themselves before they bring life into the world. Sometimes, granted, sometimes that can't always happen. Sometimes it's an accident or however they planned it, but under the same breath, then fine, you're bringing a life into the world. Try and understand each other. Like, but that's just my personal opinion. Like, I could never bring life into the world if I didn't understand my partner.
A lot of my friends have been booby trapped, like
by tits.
pretty much by tits. Actually.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that came to my booby.
No, but realistically, like these girls, I've got boy mates that are out there saying these girls are saying, yeah, I'm on the pill, so they're not gonna strap up.
Oh, I don't want to say it. Oh yeah.
But then
I know a lot of people have been burnt that way, but realistically, do you know this person well enough to? Have you seen her be taking these tablets every day?
Protect yourself.
See the implant in her arm, like. Come on, guys, strap up if you're not ready for this responsibility.
It's literally like
it goes both ways, like, because once she's telling you, "Oh, I'm on the pill," and then next minute she's telling you she's pregnant. What did you think was happening?
Let me ask. Sorry to even cut you. I know you want to say a lot. Yeah. Let me throw something in there, because sometimes this. Let me throw something in there. Yeah. You know, usually when people say like, when a woman. When like a woman get pregnant, yeah, and it's like the guy didn't really want to have the baby, yeah, like who, you know, like this argument of like
who's responsible?
It's my body. I can do whatever I want with my body. How does that work? You got to say, how does that work?
I'll be honest, I don't know if this is because I've got a lot of boy cousins and my brothers and stuff like that, and boy mates and stuff, but I think it's not fair when a girl says, "Oh, it's my body. I'm doing what I want."
Takes two to tango.
Because you're also about to. I'm not gonna. I know people say kids are a blessing, but effectively you're ruining someone's life.
You're affecting someone's life.
Child, you should really take that into
consideration.
Because not only are you gonna ruin his life, you're now bringing a kid into the world who's not gonna be there.
Yeah.
And you're ruining your child's life.
Effectively,
why would you not want your child being brought up with constant love? Like my sister's had both of her parents there. We've got a different dad, but my dad wasn't there until I was around 6, and then he was there for like 2-3 years, and then he passed away.
Rest his soul.
Yeah, but as a man, could he have done more? Hell yeah. Like, I'm not gonna batter his name, but when he was in my life, he was great. But again, did my mum have them conversations before having me? I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like when a woman says it's my body, you ain't got no say in the matter, I think it's so selfish.
I feel like you allowed them to change your body, so you should allow them to.
Especially when they're booby trapping them, like
that,
I'm not on the pill. But now I'm pregnant.
No, that's what I'm. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah.
It's a trick. It's baby trapping. I'm not on the.
I don't agree with that.
There's a lot of those type of things going on, and like
I
feel like there should be there's no level of no one wants to compromise, because obviously if you're gonna be in a relationship or future wise,
I think another one is like when men or women can't separate their relationship
to the child.
So like
them and the child.
I wish your sister was on the red chair.
You know what I'm saying? She's just taking up the whole energy, bro.
I'm not
Stop talking, bro.
My face is not coming on that camera. No, thank you. But
I'm just sitting here like a pleb, bro.
I don't know.
Like, I'm just sitting here like.
Sorry. Go ahead.
You're not sorry.
Keep going.
No, keep going.
No, you just got some good taste. So just that I wish obviously it was on camera for people to see you, but
both.
Yeah, go on. But we can't go on. Continue now.
No, I'm lost now anyway.
You said about booby trapping and that, the relationship with the parent should be separate from the child.
I know there's guys out there, very much guys out there that have planned a baby with someone or got their girl pregnant and happy, and then the relationship goes to
downhill.
Yeah, before their baby's even born, and now they're saying, no, get rid of the baby. If you don't want to be with me, you're not having the baby. But then I know girls that do stuff like that as well. It's all mental.
I feel like it's all complicated until you're in a situation.
People plan around with these babies' lives like it's
nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, like they're just toys or
Yeah.
tools to
Like
do.
weapons.
Personally, I don't believe in that. I feel that's,
agree.
like, it gets me angry when I hear that. Because,
Yeah, it's crazy because there's people out there that will do anything to have a kid that physically can't have kids for whatever reasons, and then there's people out there just popping them out like Skittles for a council flat or just to try and keep someone in their life. It's all mad.
Yeah, I feel like it's mad.
Like, quickly going back to photography, we'll come back to things because obviously we flirt around, innit? What did I say flirt?
Great choice. Great choice.
Like, it's my accent. I meant float.
Where did you from?
East Africa, Uganda.
Okay.
Have you heard of that?
Of
Uganda,
course.
yeah. Sometimes you never know, it's a big word. Hey. So yeah, going back to your business, yeah. Where did you catch the bug? Like, in terms of like saying, you know what, I actually want to get into
Bug?
business.
I don't know. I had a bug. As in like the itch for photography.
Yeah. Where did you like fall in? Yeah. Where did you get the?
You know what? When I was little, like really little, like maybe 5 or 6, we used to have the little normal like digital cameras, and my dad used to give them to me all the time. And my mum also used to give me the disposable ones. They used to take on my little trips.
Yeah.
And I was literally, no word of a lie, all my friends from school could vouch for this. I was constantly like, in everyone's face. And then obviously later on in life, I found out that my babo, which is my granddad, was actually a photographer.
Okay.
So it makes sense. Now, obviously, that's probably where the bug came from. It's just like in my genes.
It was literally in your DNA.
That's what all the old cameras in my room are. They're from Babo. Yeah. It's crazy.
And then obviously moving forward, obviously, like in terms of like obviously, you know, years going by, when did you get to a point where you thought to yourself, you know what, I actually want to turn this into a business?
It was more so like college time. So when I was coming out of college, I was like, right, what do I do? I don't want to work in Tesco for the rest of my life. So
Fuck Tesco.
Yeah, literally. And then I just kind of switched and like fully started getting into it with like my brother and everything and my sister and just doing like more events, clubs, things like that. And then obviously it just started from there.
Yeah. Like you said, because you know sometimes I like to think about, to look at the bigger picture in certain things, innit? To try to make sense. Meaning, like what we said earlier, like obviously nowadays we've got all of these good cameras on our phones. A lot of motherfuckers think they can be photographers. I'm very good at You know, you got a lot of people out there just picking up
and putting on auto and hoping for the
You get what I'm saying? Like putting little what do they call it? Putting like certain things on you know, in pictures,
like filters and stuff,
filters
and
or whatever.
effects,
Like we are in a world where, like we said, it's crowded. Even when I speak to music artists, I say like, "How are you looking to bust through this thing? Because there's so many of you motherfuckers around, right?" So the same question.
Break through.
You get me? So the same question I ask you as well, like obviously within the photography industry and that, in terms of like, I don't know if you thought about this or not, but moving forward, like doing your thing, like standing out, like you know, being very successful in what you're doing, like in future. Have you thought about like how you're looking to maybe move forward in terms of like branding yourself, like obviously your brand, like so for you, like in terms of like standing out and being able to like being identified, like this is me.
In like the nicest way possible, I could just say like I'm very authentic. Like even like earlier when I mentioned about
talk your shit.
I'm trying to. You're interrupting.
I'm so sorry. I'm going crazy. Sorry. Sometimes I get too carried away. Go.
I can tell.
Yeah, go.
We can even like say, for example, like the Photoshop thing. Like it's not one of the things I do, and I would say that's how I stand out. Like there's a lot of photographers out there that are amazing. However, they use a lot to make them amazing. That makes sense. Like a lot of like Photoshop, Lightroom, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
They add stuff to make their things look better.
Bingo. A lot nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah,
and a lot of people add so much shit. What I meant to say, sorry to cut effects as well. Like you know that effects, too much shit into pictures. Yeah, go continue.
Yeah, but obviously my first step is obviously becoming directors of my companies, which I have done now. Hopefully, obviously with the forensics as well, have potentially owning a studio eventually.
You will own a studio.
Yeah, I will. Tell the universe. It's gonna happen.
The universe is listening to you.
I know it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that at some point. So yeah, that's where I want it to go.
There's a lot going on there, man. And like you see, talking about you said you've done Fashion Week before, yeah? Like, how was that like? Obviously, a lot of us people would just see people's videos, people who have been there. Like, what year was that, and how did you find that experience?
Oh, what year was it? I think 2018, 2019.
Okay, this going back a good few years back.
Yeah, maybe like 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah. And how did that opportunity come around?
I don't even remember. I think someone emailed me about doing it.
Yeah.
Obviously I wanted to tag along, and back then I didn't really charge too much. I was just like, yeah, I'll join.
Yeah.
Just for the experience. I went. It's very hectic.
It looks hectic on camera.
Yeah, it is. It's hectic, but it's you know what? The models are incredibly nice. Like, even after that, I've got a few models and we did like studio work and stuff, like, and it was really interesting, like, to work with them. And because normally, obviously, again, social media and society, you automatically assume, like, because they're so like well off and well known and whatever, that automatically they have a bit more, like, without a better word, like, stush.
Yeah.
But a lot of them that I met, some of them obviously were a bit more on the posher side, but a lot of them that I spoke to were really nice and, like, humble, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Like, for anyone who's watching this, who obviously one day would like to go to Fashion Week and experience it, like, I would like to go. I'm not really into fashion, but it looks like a good vibe, you know, like,
good experience.
Good experience. Like, what would you like? What one thing would you say to that person who would like to go there? Like, how is it like, and what would they be able to take away from it? What would be what would be one thing that they could take away from Fashion Week if they end up going one day?
Honestly, just the experience. Yeah. It's amazing, and especially if you're gonna be like more of a how do I explain it? Like an artist or a photographer or someone that wants to be involved to work in that industry. Definitely, like, networking is the best thing. Like, I met so many people there that still watch my page till this day, and I can 100% say that I could message them and they would help me out. Like, so if anyone's like trying to go to those things, definitely just go. Like, even if you have to pay to go, pay for it. Like, it will do wonders for your business, or like even just to say that you've done it, because like at the end of the day, people was and erring about going to things like that, but just go. Like, if you have to doubt it, you should get it.
Are you into fashion at all?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I used to be a lot more into fashion. I used to want to be a fashion designer, actually, but then obviously it switched to being a photographer. So I would say my style's pretty decent.
Okay. Yeah. More on the urban side, because I know you got urban fashion.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like you can switch it up though, or I can switch it up, like more urban, but then also more like girly / posh. Like, it just depends.
A very expensive sneaker addiction.
I mean, who doesn't nowadays?
She doesn't.
Yeah,
mine's like to the ceiling.
Trainers and shit like that.
I love them. It's so bad. Like, yeah, but you know, it's fine. It's an addiction I can handle.
Oh, good.